Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku and I'm here to review episode 2 of Fate Apocrypha. And with this episode, it was pretty much more of an introduction episode, even though yes, last week was the first episode, so that's kind of supposed to be the introduction, but hey, it's best not to cram in all the meet and greet with the characters in one episode. So I'm glad we carried it over to this episode. And actually, we didn't even meet all the characters. There are still many more to be introduced, but we got introduced to a fair amount, mainly on the black team, the opposing side. And these servants actually seem rather friendly. We didn't really get to learn too much about the masters, but you know, we're getting there, okay? You know, it's only episode 2, it's confirmed 2 core. We can give it some time, all right? Heck, as much as I love Fate Zero, which is one of my favorite anime of all time, I'm looking at the poster of Fate Zero. Yeah. I remember it took me forever to finish that first episode. That first episode was so boring. Oh my god. And that was an hour long. Jesus. Moving back with the red team, we learn about the servant that our main character summoned. I don't remember his name at the moment. Man, his name was pretty sick too. Forgot his name. He's like you know, he's the main guy. He's the buff dude, you know, with the 6 scar, man, like that guy. He summoned Mordred. Now Mordred over in the actual lore of, you know, the Knights of the Round Table, you know, Camelot, stuff like that. He's the one that actually, he hated Arthur and told Arthur about Guinevere's, or her name was Guinevere, was it Gwyneth? I completely forgot. I think it was Guinevere. Told Arthur about how his girlfriend was going out with Lancelot, and then in the end took over the kingdom and stuff. Mordred was a bad dude, but in this here, Mordred is actually the son of King Arthur, so I'm just like, Saber? Artura Saber? Who have you been screwing?
So, we got a very interesting scene in this episode. I do believe we got the mana transfer, or at least that's what it should have been. Then it got so interrupted. I will have my mana transfer scene animated. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Jack the Ripper a lolly? We have a killer lolly. It's gonna be one of those. So the priest's name is Shiro Kotomine. Now I know this takes place in an alternate universe. Thank you for those of you who cleared everything up for me in the comments last week. I really appreciate it. But still, Shiro Kotomine. Why those 2 specific names? I do believe we are about to find out, because this guy is very sus. And this man's supposed to be on the good guys team. I'm not gonna lie, I was really freaking out during the opening, not just because of Egoist, but because of the visuals, because we saw so many characters that are actually in Fate Grand Order. So when I saw, like, you know, Alante appear, and I saw freaking Vlad, which I know Vlad was in last week's episode, I just didn't really recognize that it was him until today's episode. I was like, yeah, opening is hype. I'm still trying to understand Jean's purpose in all of this. Jeanne d'Arc, the ruler class. The ruler class really confuses me. But I'm sure a lot of very helpful people who are such great fanboys of Fate will help me out in the comments. Please. And those are my thoughts on today's episode. Let me know your thoughts and catch me later as I review The Promised Neverland. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.